entertainment-loving people want an unlimited data plan that gives us more.
We want more than just texting. More than just surfing and shopping.
Because sure, we want to use this to call the people we love, like our directors. But mostly, to get the entertainment we love.
Switch to AT&T for the only unlimited plan that gives you 60 channels of live television on any screen, all for $70 a month.
Welcome, everyone, to PNC Arena. I'm Leah Bruce from PackTV, and we're here to watch NC State take on Chapel Hill. The last time these two competitors met was late January when the Wolfpack came out on top 95-91 in overtime. Today, the NC State team will have home court advantage in hopes to take down the Tar Heels once again.
Sailors breaking down on a camel's back. They just have to go cause they don't know where. So all your favorite streets is appealing to see. You won't get undercounted cause you're damn free. You got a new horizon, it's ephemeral style. A melancholy town where we never smile. And all I wanna hear is the message beep. My dreams, they gotta kiss me cause I don't get sleep, no.
Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in the steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in the steady, watch me navigate.
Are you going to rush the court when the game's over?
They're only ranked 27, so I don't think I'm going to rush a 27th ranked team, but...
Earlier this week, UNC point guard Joel Berry said he didn't consider NC State a rival. Would you guys consider the Tar Heels to be a rival?
Well, if you value opinion, you know, I don't value his, but look at this game. Definitely rivals.
Laughing gas, these hazmats, fast cats, lining them up like crack. Play these ponies at the track, it's my chocolate attack. Shit, I'm stepping in harder this year. Yeah, been repping in harder this year. Watch me as I gravitate. Ha 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 ha. We gon' ghost town, this is Motown. With your sound, you in the blink. Gon' bite the dust and fight with us. With your sound, you kill the hate. So don't stop, get it, until you chin it, hit it.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
They had a game over there to go beat UNC.
Deep higher captains in the steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in the steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in the steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in the steady, watch me navigate.
I'm Ethan Berry for this week's 60-second sound off. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody except for Luke May. It would have been nice to sweep them, get our brooms out. You know, I think we can hold our heads high in the fact that it took a historical performance from Luke May and really from their team as a whole, shooting 78% in the second half, and they could barely hold us off. That tells you that we're headed in the right direction. We should give them credit, but we won't because they're garbage and they got credit for not going to class, so they don't get any credit. I enjoyed seeing Markel give his child some advice, Joel Berry, good fatherly figure. I'd still take Kevin Keats over Roy Williams any day of the week and twice on Sundays. How do you get Luke May to walk on at your school versus scholarship offers from other ACC teams? NC State's not lucky enough to have something like that happen to them. Took their best effort of the year to barely hold us off when they shot 78%. I do think the crowd was too good though. If the crowd hadn't been so good, I don't know that they would have been as ready for the game. I don't want to say the crowd hurt us, but I definitely think the crowd helped them a lot. They're not used to playing in front of a sellout crowd and a loud crowd, so I'm sure they embraced it. Kevin Keats is still a winner.
I'm Blake Challerton, and this is PackTV's We Were There. From PNC Arena, it's NC State's Ice Pack going up against UNC Chapel Hill. I'm here with James. James, what do you think of the game so far?
It's been a great game. I'm really excited to watch UNC lose again, and it's been a great time.
So what do you think? What's your prediction of the final score?
I think we're going to win 10-4 right now.
10-4?
Just really going to pull away in this last period.
It's 5-3 right now. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm very confident in our team. Go Pack.
And what do you think is going to be the final score? It's 5-3 right now. We're going into the third period. What's it going to be?
I guessed 8-4. My boyfriend thinks it's going to be 7-3. 7-4.
7-4, and what about you?
I kind of feel like it's going to stay the same.
I think we can tie this game up by the end of the third period.
6-3.
6-3?
NC State.
What about you?
I'm going with 6-4 NC State.
Congratulations, Carolina. You won the Battle of the Blues. But guess what? Duke lost to St. John's. And what have you done against the NC State Wolfpack? Well, this year, next to nothing. Besides beating both our men's and women's soccer team by final scores of 1-0 in both games, you've lost to our football team, you've lost to our men's and women's basketball team, you've lost to our men's and women's swimming and diving team, you've lost to our gymnastics team, and guess what? Twice you've lost to our hockey team in PNC Arena. Well, we are here at the Tally Student Union to find out what NC State fans and students have to say about the rivalry, or the lack thereof, between the NC State Wolfpack and the Carolina Tar Heels on this edition of Wolfpack Now with me, Logan Sims, on PackTV. All right, I'm here with Mariah, and underneath this Clemson jacket, she is in fact wearing NC State, and she's actually a tour guide here at the Tally Student Union, so we're good. All right, Mariah, NC State has defeated Carolina in basically every sport this year except for soccer. Which sport are you most happy about that the Wolfpack has beaten the Tar Heels?
So I'm most excited about basketball just because I love basketball season, like the energy people bring to big games.
You know, I would have to say basketball.
Definitely basketball, just because we don't usually beat them in basketball. Football, it's kind of expected.
I am always a huge football fan.
Joel Berry had some comments this week about the lack thereof of a rivalry between the NC State Wolfpack and the Carolina Tar Heels. I will admit firsthand that the Duke-Carolina rivalry is the biggest rivalry in college basketball, but that does not mean that there's not a rivalry between NC State and Carolina. What are your thoughts and comments on Joel Berry and his comments?
So you know how the saying goes, wolves aren't concerned about the opinions of sheep? Well, we're not concerned about the opinions of rams, and when you're at the top, you don't even need to look down to the bottom.
I think at this point they just don't want to be rivals with us because they're a little scared we might win.
For me personally, I'm glad that he doesn't care about his games against us. That means he's going to play bad just like he did last time he played us.
Carolina will say, State's not our rival, State's not a rival, every time they lose to State, just so it doesn't seem like it's a relevant win.
Looking between the three sports of men's basketball, women's basketball, and football, who should the Carolina Tar Heels most be scared of? Dave Doran, Wes Moore, or Kevin Keats?
Kevin Keats. I think he's awesome.
I'm going to go with Kevin Keats because he really brought the basketball team back from the trenches.
Probably Dave Doran with football. I think this past year Dave Doran showed that he really knows how to get the guys going.
You know what? I'm going to go with my buddy Kevin Keats, just because this man will he would not take no for an answer.
Are you aware of the NC State hockey team at all?
Absolutely.
Okay. NC State has beaten Carolina twice in the PNC Arena this year. They're 3-0 all time against them, but twice this year.
I remember.
Do you know, if you know the final scores of those games, I'll buy you some Howland ice cream right now.
Ooh. Can I get like a hint, like a little range?
I'm going to guess 3-1 and 4-2.
5-4.
25-16.
I do know the scores. Are you ready to buy me some? Are you ready to buy me some ice cream?
If you get it right.
5-3, 6-5.
Yeah, I'm buying this man some Howland ice cream.
Some wolf tracks. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All day, every day. Wolf tracks. Only at NC State. I would just say that it's always a pleasure to be a part of the NC State Wolfpack. Go Pack, beat the Tar Heels all day, every day, over and out.
Walks in, Katsitas around the net. Button hooking, he's done it before. To the blue line, long wrist shot, tipped wide. Behind the cage, takedown, State's got it. Shooting it out, here's a chance. Ryan Kinney to the races, walking in, Kinney digs, scores! Captain Clutch, Ryan Kinney, 4-2 shorthanded!
ACCHL tournament. But good games nonetheless, especially these past two.
Chance for Beaver North, scores! Well, Beaver North over top of Astorga, and it's 5-2 for the Wolfpack, straight off the draw. Stick to it. He'll chase here on Zhang. Johnston tries to send it up the ice. The true freshman can't get it ahead. Out wide to the far side point man. Here's a shot toward Lessick. He never got a stick to it. Zhang shoulders Weaver, the oldest man on ice in the ACC at 28 years old. State backhands it all the way back down to Nadell. He'll shove it along for Katsitas. Webb at the blue line, gives to Johnston. Here's a chance on his backhand, in front, scored! That might just do it! Johnston on the awkward bounce, puts it in, 6-2! The chance of Wolfpack will echo. Face-off won by George Washington. It doesn't matter. The NC State Wolfpack are going to play for the Admirals Cup again.
Wow. What an incredible performance from the Wolfpack. You know,
We, the entertainment-loving people, want an unlimited...
Your NC State needs.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
Are you thinking?
Hi, I'm Lulu.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here with PackTV live from Miller Field as the women's NC State club soccer team takes on UNCW. It's very cold outside, isn't it?
It's freezing.
Hopefully that doesn't impact too much play on the field, especially with the couple wet spots we have down here. Hopefully it doesn't get too icy. And then we'll also see how that plays into like on the field play as well, with passes being correct and accurate and throws being correct and accurate as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of wind out here too.
Yeah, that'll definitely change the direction of the ball. But we've got a lot of things to look forward to and to look out for during the duration of this game.
Buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
And operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Wolfpack. Located in the Ridgewood Shopping Center off of Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop recently expanded from 2,400 to 5,400 square feet. Whether you're in need of tailgating essentials, decals and magnets, home goods, apparel for people of all ages, or sporting goods, the Red and White Shop has it all. Stop by today for your NC State needs.
Welcome everyone to PNC Arena. I'm Leah Bruce from PackTV and we're here to watch NC State take on Chapel Hill. The last time these two competitors met was late January when the Wolfpack came out on top 95-91 in overtime. Today, the NC State team will have home court advantage in hopes to take down the Tar Heels once again.
Sailors breaking down on a camel's back. They just have to go cause they don't know where. So while you fill the streets is appealing to see, you won't get undercounted cause you're damn free. You got a new horizon, it's ephemeral style. A melancholy town where we never smile. And all I wanna hear is the message beat. My dreams, they gotta kiss me cause I don't get to sleep, no.
Don't shop, shit it, get it. Deep higher captains in a steady, watch me navigate. Don't shop, shit it, get it. Deep higher captains in a steady, watch me navigate.
Are you gonna rush the court when the game's over?
So we're about to start. We're about to get ready for the kickoff here in Miller Field. NC State number 4, Millie Bilvin, is set to take it off. These first plays of the game are really, really important, aren't they, Savannah? It really sets the tone. Sets the tone for who's going to be on your front line. She passes it back, though. Using that back line definitely to strengthen. That pass goes to number 8, Nicole Kohlberg, down the line. Taken away by UNCW, but quickly taken back by NC State. Really important to keep moving that ball forward, especially as a defensive team. But NC State really seems to be using their strong back line to advance the plays. That goes out to the wings and cross into number 6, Carson Kay. But definitely taken back. And that ball's held off by number 25 for UNCW. And right back to NC State. That ball long. Just headed out by number 17, Amanda Doherty for UNCW.
Both teams seem to be pretty competitive out of the gate. I think this will be a good matchup.
Definitely agree. They seem to both want it. And I mean, it is cold out here, so maybe they're just trying to stay active, beat that atmosphere.
Gotta stay warm.
I'm just trying to be more zoomed.
So this goes to a corner kick. Set to be taken by NC State, number 15. That is Emily Rusk for you. Goes just wide of the back post. Oh, and just deflected off. Just deflected off of a shot attempt by NC State. That will go to another corner kick for NC State. It's really interesting formation. Have you really seen anything this far outside of the box usually?
Well, they seem to be pretty far outside for a corner kick.
This is one of those really important set plays. Trying to confuse the defense a little bit here. Oh, and just stopped. Multiple shot attempts by NC State. Goal even hit the ground a little bit on that one. But she does land on it in the end.
Goalie made a good stop there.
Definitely hectic in the block. That play seemed to work exactly the way NC State wanted it to, creating some confusion in the box. Defenders didn't know where to go. But that's a throw-in for NC State. Handled well by UNCW, and it's back down to an NC State throw-in near the top of the box. Lost by NC State player number 4, Millie Bilvin. Back to UNCW, creating a beautiful play on the wings of the field, crossed in and headed out by NC State. And it's back down the field. to the wings. Nobody seems to be pressuring number 8 for NC State, Nicole Kohlberg. Could have taken all the time in the world on that play if she wanted it to. Could have ran it down, decided to pass it. And that goes to another corner kick for NC State, who seems to be creating all the opportunities in this match so far. Like I said earlier, these set pieces are so crucial. These are really, some of the only ways that you can at least control your path to the goal. Nobody's in your way. It's just one shot. Oh, and headed right out of the box. Some more confusion. Taken at the top of, and a kick saved.
That was a really good save by the goalie.
That was a really good attempt too. Perfect placement right at the top third. Any other goalie and that would have gone in, honestly. Taken and held by number 9 for UNCW, Rachel Werner. But back to NC State's number 8, Nicole Kohlberg. Looking for somebody to pass to.
I would say NC State's been controlling the first few minutes of this game so far. They seem to be pretty dominant, taking a lot of shots on goal.
Definitely would agree. Oh, great save and a great shot. That didn't even look, that looked like a cross, really, from NC State. Goalie came out of just a little bit out for that one. Goal kick goes to UNCW. NC State does seem to be pressuring UNCW to make those mistakes. But NC State's definitely not clean of mistakes either. A couple of missed opportunities here and there. Some poor ball placement as well has probably led to the 0-0 score, even though definitely have had multiple opportunities to change that. Just like right now. Oh, just a missed touch on the ball. A little bit more power and force, and that would have gone right into the back corner. Which brings us to our second goal kick of the game. Back to NC State again. Really, free kicks, goal kicks, set pieces are the only ones that you can control. And it seems like UNCW isn't finding the space it needs to create those opportunities for their own team. That goes out off of NC State. UNCW's number 16, Haley Gibson, will take the throw-in for them. Short throw-in down the line and out for NC State. See, these are the mistakes that you can't make right on the goal line because you can't be offsides on a throw-in. So anything goes basically. If you have a girl that can launch it down the field, then definitely take the opportunity. But they seem to be using just short throw-ins for the game, at least so far. Some incredible pressure by NC State, but
definitely
it goes to a free kick nonetheless. First call of the game for anything, really. Free kick taken by UNCW's number 12, Leah Schneiderite. But then back to NC State to make some more opportunities with the ball. They just seem to be a cleaner passing team. Really looking up, looking for who's wide open. Like right now, she should cross it down the wing, but goes for the center, and of course it's back to UNCW. When you're not looking for those crosses, when you're not looking to switch the field, it just gets muddled right in the middle, and that's when the ball gets taken down. Just like that play from UNCW, which went again right to the middle of the field. Weren't thinking about switching the field. It's back to NC State ultimately for that one. Taken by UNCW's number 17, Amanda Doherty, and out.
UNCW is going to have to put some more pressure on the ball so they can take some shots on goal here.
Agree. It's definitely been kept in their third for the duration of the game. Out again, even farther down the field, taken again by NC State's number 8, Nicole Kohlberg. And we have our first few substitutions of the match. Coming off are NC State's number 6, Alyssa Carter. On for her is can't see that, but UNCW's number 17 kicks it down the field, Amanda Doherty. But of course, back to NC State, who's making the opportunities, making the play. And again, Nicole Kohlberg would take it down the field for a throw-in. Quick, short passes are what's getting NC State through this game. Not playing the long ball, looking for those opportunities quickly and trying to take them. But it seems like as this game goes on, their focus is draining, or maybe UNCW is just keeping up more with the ball in these points. Just a miss cross opportunity was what that was. A bunch of jumble in the box. Not in the box, but in the middle of the field by number 10, Anna Sheridan, and number 11, Eli Reinhardt. And just some play opportunities with that. You got to keep your eye on the ball. That was close. Offsides on that one, but there was actually some trouble that happened. Can you talk a little bit about what that was?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It looked like one of the players almost ran into their goalie over there.
Luckily, she was on the ground for that attempt by number 11 for NC State, Ellie Reinhardt.
It looks like UNCW likes to make a lot more long passes, whereas NC State tries to do the short pass more.
Definitely not. Doesn't seem like a running team all that much, trying to get down the field in as little effort as possible, whereas NC State definitely okay with the running, definitely okay with the short. Great pass to Ellie Reinhardt. Goes off the post and out.
Very close there.
It was a great opportunity. That pass came from NC State's number 4, Millie Bliven. Great ball. She made a great run and a cut in on that ball, but that just went off the post. So I'm just unlucky. And I think that's the thing that's been saving UNCW is just those unforced errors, unlucky stuff happening in the box. Pass to UNCW's number 17. UNCW controls the ball for this play at least. And a long ball, hard run by NC State, takes that completely covered. The back line hasn't been able to flex their muscles and exercise for the most of this game. It's really been the midfielders and the forwards putting in all the work. Oh, some great footwork on the far side of the field. But back to UNCW.
I think UNCW needs to make sharper passes to their teammates because it seems to be getting jumbled a lot in the middle.
Yeah, it seems like they're just passing to hope a body will get behind it, but not passing intentionally. Oh, a call late off of a handball. See, handball calls are always dubious for me because I feel like if it's not intentional, then you can't really control the placement of your hands. I don't know what he wants you to do, a back bend or something to avoid getting hit with the ball, but that definitely creates another opportunity for UNCW, though. And again,
Nice
goes with the long
kick.
ball. It seemed like UNCW's number 20 didn't really get a good head on that. Couldn't really make an opportunity or play with that. She didn't seem to be expecting it. Kick goes high. Handled pretty poorly, I would say, by Caroline Robinson. Attempted to save it with the knee, but it just went out of bounds. Seems like today everything on the right side has been taken by NC State's number 8, Nicole Kohlberg, as far as the throw-in region goes. It seems like she's their go-to gal for all things throw-in related. I see why. It's a big throw, but goes out off of NC State, and that's back to UNCW's ball. Not many opportunities being created. And I get it. It's a dreary day. Sometimes you want to try your hardest, but UNCW just seems to be fatigued by either the trip or last night. Who knows? But they're definitely not doing what they need to do in order to maximize opportunities. Not getting their forwards much opportunities, and that's in the turn just going to leave them cold, make it harder for them to score.
Definitely. I think when it comes down to it, they need to communicate with each other more on the field.
Yeah, you're right. There's not a lot of talking going on.
There's not a lot of talking out here.
You know, when I go to games, I like to hear. I like to not be able to hear myself, but it seems like the teams, especially across the field, aren't communicating with each other. Players may be, talking to each other if they're right next to each other, but you can't really hear many here's or I'm open down the field from UNCW team. Oh, great shot by Nicole Kohlberg for NC State, number 8. Didn't seem to go into the position she wanted to, just came up a bit shy. Somebody should have made the run on that, but that's back to NC State's ball. Back another opportunity far outside of the box. Definitely not on target. I don't know why she took that. She had her space and she had player openings. If she wanted to pass, she could have utilized that more instead of going for that long kick from nearly midfield.
Yeah, she definitely could have taken her time with that more in order to make a point for NC State here.
It's UNCW goal kick, not taken by the goalie though. Goes right over the heads of multiple players, and a little error by number 10 Nicole Core for UNCW gets it back to NC State ball. UNCW just needs to be cleaner with their ball movement and make sure that they're really being intentional with, every placement, every pass. Seems like they're not necessarily being lazy, but being unfocused with the ball. Like that kick goes out. Definitely she could have waited for, 1 or 2 bounce before attempting to play on that. But again, just kind of carelessness with the ball is the reason that goes out off of UNCW. Another substitution, another couple of substitutions really by UNCW and NC State. Nicole takes that free throw or throw in again and goes out off of NC State, and it's UNCW's ball again. So it just seems like at this point, everyone's just trying to create opportunities for themselves, which is leading to a lot of errors, a lot of kicks out, but NC State keeps pushing UNCW closer to their goal, which means that they have more opportunities closer to the goal, don't you think?
For sure. I just think it comes down to communication for both teams. Like I said earlier,
that long ball from UNCW, their favorite, hasn't really seemed to serve them well. Maybe they'll switch it up in the second half, because right back to NC State. Poor ball handling again. NC State got super lucky with that. They're lucky that number 1, Emily Stoops, was down the side of that field to pick up that ball. She seems to hold on to it, and that's out.
Didn't seem to be anyone open there for her.
Yeah, no, it seemed like she was keeping it based off of necessity, but definitely handled it well up until then. And now it's their free throw right parallel to the top of the box. So hopefully they can create an opportunity based off that, have a couple of runners come to. But again, a missed opportunity, luckily for them, goes out. They can set up again. And still being taken by number 8, Nicole Kohlberg. UNCW needs to switch tactics. The pushing it out, pushing the ball out doesn't seem to be working because NC State just keeps inching further down the field. You can see just how pushed up that back line is, number 23 for NC State. Being past the half, as a defender, they're expecting to make some plays with that. They're expecting the ball not to go that far back.
I think that's also helping them keep the ball down towards UNCW's goal.
Yeah, definitely. That back line now is at the plays being reset, pushing all the way back, goalie's far outside the box. We'll see if UNCW uses this as an opportunity to get that ball past midfield, past the half, closer to the defensive line that's being pushed up now. They can make some great opportunities, but they do have to worry about that offsides. Can't push too far out. Number 24 seems to know this, keeping in line with the sweeper. NC State's number 23, Sabrina Baker, playing sweeper for the NC State team. Definitely holding that back line together and playing into those offsides traps. UNCW's forward, number 24, seems to be all alone on that side of the field. Everyone for UNCW has been kind of playing a defensive midfield position. No real forwards at this stage in the game.
NC State's been very good at applying pressure in the midfield, which I think is crucial because that decides where the ball's going to go.
Yeah, they've been forcing those midfield errors, and then it also kind of begs the question, who's more conditioned for this game, do you think? Like, who came in, I guess, more prepared to run, more prepared to be fast and make those sprints? Yeah. I don't agree with that call. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it was that serious. I think she just got trapped up by a couple of knees. No need to reset the play. NC State still had possession of the ball in that one. Just a call based off formality and not based off necessity, I would say, on that one. But back to the point, NC State really came in prepared for this game. Shot taken by number 23, Sabrina Baker, goes just wide of the goal, taken up easily by the UNCW goalie, who's been playing a fantastic game so far.
She has.
Really just the most commendable appearance by UNCW at this point. NC State goalie hasn't even gotten to warm up with anything, so we'll see what happens when she gets faced with an opportunity from UNCW. Hopefully she's staying ready on her toes. But play is back down at the top of the field. Cross attempt by NC State's number 1, Emily Stoops. Both teams utilizing subs very much, trying to keep their athletes as warm as possible, as fresh as possible. There's hardly anybody on the NC State bench. In fact, it seems like everybody is going to get a chance to play in this one, which will serve them well. Hopefully they don't get too lax, keep their starters warm, because UNCW is just looking for a space, looking for an opportunity.
Definitely. It looks like we've had quite a few corner kicks out here by NC State.
You're definitely right. That shot shot is what I guess we could call it. I don't know. That looked like a cross to me, but that shot goes behind the goal by Josie Rickard for NC State. And again, more substitutions out here that we're seeing. Both teams, again, using heavy use. And we go back to UNCW's Sally Mathis for the goal kick at the top of the box. Not a high kick, goes straight to NC State and taken back down. She's definitely taking her time, but taken by UNCW down the field quickly. First real opportunity that we've seen stopped by number 16 for NC State, and it's back near the midfield, and a bit of a missed pass goes out. Just got a little overzealous. UNCW seems to finally be getting that spark. They're starting. That's what we would call super starters, come in, make plays.
Yeah, that last play, it looked like they were really starting to get something going there.
That's the great thing about subs. They come in, they create energy, a different dynamic on the field. But a great long ball by NC State number 12, picked up by NC State number 12, Gracie Lewis, down the field, and again picked up easily by the goalie. NC State, what they really need to focus on, they can get it down the field, they can work on those passes, but they really need to focus on the shots that they're making. And if there's enough power behind those shots to get past the goalie and get in the back of the net.
Yes, they need to be a lot smarter with their shot placement, because the UNCW goalie has been able to stop everything that has come her way.
Agreed. The goalie's not that tall, so they should work on getting it into the top corners, work on getting it to those far wings instead of right in the middle of the goal, because sure, there's a lot of space in the middle, but that's where she's going to cover. That's where she's going to feel the most comfortable covering. Hard run by NC State forward number 7, Nara Mendez, goes out. Taken by number 2, or throw in, taken by number 2 Josie Rickard. Again, using that use of subs, keeping everybody as fresh as possible. And it'll add a new element to the game because UNCW hasn't seen these people play in that same formation, so definitely gonna change up the dynamic between the team. That was a good pass, good C by number 2, Josie Rickard, and NC State number 22, Sabine Bajern, taken easily by the goalie. Great save. She's really comfortable on the ground, which is why NC State does need to put it in the air to see what she can work with as far as jumping and getting to those tough corners. UNCW definitely adding more pressure on the ball than they have been in the earlier parts of this half. But again, NC State throw in. UNCW definitely trying to create space for opportunities. You can see those forwards over there talking to each other, trying to figure out what they need to do in order to advance play. But ultimately, it doesn't come down to them. It comes down to that midfield, comes down to that defensive line, giving them the opportunity, giving them the space. Ooh. We can see some frustration in the team. That was number 25 for UNCW.
The girls were both playing very aggressively, both teams playing very defensively.
Definitely agree. It's hard when it seems like all of your opportunities aren't being, it seems like when you're the only one playing, it's hard for those opportunities. So you can definitely see the defensive line doing anything they can, sort of taking that by all means necessary mindset. But, it's not who can play the hardest in some cases, it's who can play the smartest.
Exactly. There's some talking on the field, which is good, the communication.
Definitely gotten louder. Number 7, eager to take that one. UNCW finally gets the ball back, trying to advance some plays down here.
Some new subs coming in for UNCW.
Yep, hopefully they'll add a fresh energy, taking number 25 out. She's been playing hard all game. And putting in instead number 16, Haley Gibson, to take over that position. We saw her on the field a little bit earlier, but not playing this new position. That just goes past all blue on field.
Keeping it very close to the sideline there.
Definitely trying to force some error, but taken by UNCW. Finally being able to advance some play. Seems luck has finally swung in their favor, but that was just a missed opportunity by number 16, Haley Gibson. Wasn't in the right spot to receive that play. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it seems as though every time UNCW gets some momentum going, there's always some NC State players there.
You're right. It seems like a couple of key players are making those plays for UNCW, but again, just unforced errors, passing errors, receiving errors, things that you really need to control with team cohesiveness. Number 7, Izzy White, and number 16, Haley Gibson. They seem to be going for it, really trying. Making those runs, making those plays, using footwork to get around every man on. And no one was there making their run. I think she expected somebody to be running down for her, but no one there. It just goes right out, and it's a goalie kick again. Not much spin on that. That ball landed hard, you can hear. Great ball handling skills. Off to the wing, managed to stay up. Ball was to number 6, Carson Key for NC State. Managed to stay up despite all that, but call a free kick because of all that physicality happening near the top of the field.
We're still out here 0-0 in this game.
Yeah, it seems like with all the opportunities NC State has had, they still haven't found exactly that shooting, the balance between power and finesse to get it to the back of the net. Seems to be lacking one or the other with everything. But, I mean, if that's the only thing you have to focus on, just getting those shots in, then you're having an easy game, whereas UNCW is balancing a lot. How do we create plays? How do we make passes? How do we utilize our space and our players? I'm not even thinking about shooting right now because they haven't had the opportunity to shoot in anything.
Definitely. I think both teams have different things they need to focus on in order to get some goals here.
Taken down the field to number 24, and somehow managed to be kept by UNCW. NC State gave her a lot of space, but she just mishandled that ball. That is absolutely unacceptable when you have the space to make that play, when you see your player and she's open, and then just putting it in some random space between NC State defense. That was just, in my book, that's unexcusable. You've got to be picking your head up. You've got to be looking for it, and at this level, at this stage, with years of playing as these girls likely have, you have to make those opportunities available for every player on your team. Switching the field, like I said, key in this game. UNCW doesn't know quite how to adjust to switching the field, getting it all the way across, not just to the middle. And just mishandled ball by number 2 NC State, Josie Ricard. But back to NC State. Run down the field taken easily by UNCW to UNCW's number 20. Some fight over the ball goes to UNCW's number 1, Caroline Robinson. A little quiet during the game as well. For the first time, kept great touch by number 20 UNCW. First time kept at the top and offsides. See, I wish number 16 Haley Gibson would have watched that more carefully. Was offsides at the top of the play. Try to run back on to receive that ball with the jumble between NC State players, but coming from an offsides position, you can't do that. It's just a missed opportunity. Not knowing where she was on the field. Spatial awareness is so key when playing soccer because of plays like that.
It's definitely so important, especially because they started getting something going there.
Exactly, definitely switching the momentum now. UNCW seems to be really getting in it, seems to be making opportunities. Maybe NC State got too lax, with their attentiveness on the ball. Oh, but keeping it clean, what a great short stop by number 12, Gracie Lewis. She knew that they were going to make the run, thinking that she was going to do a long ball, so she just kept it short, gave her more time to weigh her options, weigh who to pass it to, and that's why it's still NC State's ball right now.
UNCW needs to keep applying the pressure in the midfield.
It was a great save by the UNCW goalie. Also a great shot by NC State, number 12, Gracie Lewis. Definitely needs to be more talking there. There's a little confusion about who's going to receive that. And that's why it is back to NC State. UNCW does have some power players. They do know how to make plays. It just doesn't seem like they're using that to the best of their ability. And not using a lot of speed, trying to be more reserved. They need to make those hard runs, make those hard sprints. Great run by UNCW by number 24. They still have it. They just need a and see, that's just a missed opportunity. She had her space to take a shot and didn't decide to take it. Waited till a NC State defender put pressure on her. And it's out for a UNCW free kick, but that was some great defending over there. Didn't even see her coming. Just out of nowhere to take that ball away from UNCW. And just putting her hair tie in, number 12, NC State's Gracie Lewis still manages to take it away, but it's back to the UNCW defensive line. The first time we've seen real play in NC State's half.
UNCW seems to be applying the pressure a little more.
Definitely as well. Definitely applying the pressure. The back line seems to be working a little bit harder than they were at the beginning of the game. Maybe they're finally finding their footing. Maybe they're warming up. Who knows? But making it work to the best of their ability. NC State needs to tighten up if they want to make some more chances, because UNCW is going to come out of nowhere and take it away. All it is, it just takes one shot to make a game. You know, you could be pass percentage 70-30, controlling most of the half, but then if you just let that slide, let that 1 inch go, that could be game for NC. So NC State needs to be aware that regardless of whether the better passing team, they need to be the better opportunity-making team, the better shooting team if they want to take this game away.
For sure, all it takes is one shot.
Again, just too far outside the box. Number 12, Gracie Lewis, should have known that wasn't going to go in at the distance. She didn't apply enough power to get it up and get it in the back of the net, so I don't know why she would bother taking the opportunity instead of creating one for her teammates or a better one for herself even farther down in the play. UNCW's number 7 and number 16, Izzy White, and number 16, Haley Gibson, making those opportunities for UNCW, it seems. And those UNCW forwards, not too fast, but if they get some good balls, they can definitely get it in the back of the net. The right side of the field being controlled almost entirely by number 7 and number 16 for UNCW. Ooh, that's just a rough play. Nothing intentional there.
I've noticed a lot of good footwork between both teams out here today.
Yeah, it can be hard defending somebody with better footwork than you, because you just never know where that ball is going to go. So in that instance, just, you know, number 16 for UNCW, Haley Gibson, was just a little bit frustrated by that play. Tried to go in for a trip, but didn't work out too well. Ended up being the one on the ground. Easy does it though. Patience is the only thing that can really combat some good footwork. You can't go at it by force. Taken by number 4, Millie Blivens, down the field. A quick turnaround, gets stopped up in the middle of the half, but kept by NC State. Again, that footwork comes into play so much in the way that these two teams are matched up. That ball kicked out by NC State's number 23, Sabrina Baker. And one of the very few instances that we see that ball in the NC State third, and no one there to pick it up. NC State forward making that hard run, number 4, Millie Blivens, and she seems to be at the right place at the right time, switching the field so easily. And this just comes with knowing where your teammate's gonna be. Bad pass though by number 6, Carson Key for NC State. Took it back, given to Millie Blivens, trying to make an opportunity on the ball, and just
another great save.
Great goaltending we're seeing by UNCW. the way to get around that is just putting it in places you know she can't be. You know she can go for the middle. Know she can go for the middle of the box. Know that she can take it from there. But how is she going to do on the corners? How is she going to do on those far ground balls? We don't know yet because NC State hasn't seemed to be putting it in those positions. They need to work on exercising, spots that they're more uncomfortable with, and really getting up close to the goal to make some power shots, make some finesse shots to get into the back of the net.
Shot placement is really important. I think they need to aim for one of the 4 corners.
And that's the half. We've seen a lot of interesting play from both NC State and UNCW. UNCW forwards don't really seem to be making those opportunities that they need to be making. But again, that team combination of UNCW's number 7 and number 16, Haley Gibson, has been making some opportunities late in the first half. NC State, however, needs to focus on the shots that they're making, how they're going to get that ball to the back of the net. And I guess we'll see some really great opportunities. Depends on what the coaches tell these girls in this half. And I guess we'll just see if NC State can capitalize or if UNCW can sort of rise up and seem to make some shots closer to the goal. We'll be right back here at PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Wolfpack. Located in the Ridgewood Shopping Center off of Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop recently expanded from 2,400 to 5,400 square feet. Whether you're in need of tailgating essentials, decals and magnets, home goods, apparel for people of all ages, or sporting goods, the Red and White Shop has it all. Stop by today for your NC State needs.
Welcome everyone to PNC Arena. I'm Leah Bruce from PackTV, and we're here to watch NC State take on Chapel Hill. The last time these two competitors met was late January when the Wolfpack came out on top 95-91 in overtime. Today, the NC State team will have home court advantage in hopes to take down the Tar Heels once again.
Sailors breaking down on a camel's back. They just have to go cause they don't know where. So while you feel the streets is appealing to see, you won't get undercounted cause you're damn free. You got a new horizon, it's ephemeral style. A melancholy town where we never smile. And all I wanna hear is the message beep. My dreams, they gotta kiss and cause I don't get sleep, no.
Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in a steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in a steady, watch me navigate.
Are you going to rush the court when the game's over?
They're only ranked 27, so I don't think I'm going to rush a 27th ranked team, but
this week, UNC point guard Joel Berry said he didn't consider NC State a rival. Would you guys consider the Tar Heels to be a rival?
Well, if you value opinion, I don't value his, but look at this game. Definitely rivals.
Laughing gas, hazmat, fast cats, lining them up like crack. Say these ponies at the track, it's my chocolate attack. Shit, I'm stepping in harder this year. Yeah, been repping in harder this year. Watch me as I gravitate. We gon' ghost town, this Motown with your sound. You in the blink, gon' bite the dust and fight with us. With your sound, you kill it. So don't stop, get it until you chin it, hit it.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
They had a game over there to go beat UNC.
Deep higher captains in a steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in a steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in a steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it. Deep higher captains in a steady, watch me navigate.
body warmer.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Wolfpack. Located in the Ridgewood Shopping Center off of Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop recently expanded from 2,400 to 5,400 square feet. Whether you're in need of tailgating essentials, decals and magnets, home goods, apparel for people of all ages, or sporting goods, the Red and White Shop has it all. Stop by today for your NC State needs.
Welcome everyone to PNC Arena. I'm Leah Bruce from PackTV, and we're here to watch NC State take on Chapel Hill. The last time these two competitors met was late January.
So I think the question of this half is, why is this game still scoreless? What are your thoughts on that?
I think both teams have been applying a lot of pressure, but it's not getting anywhere from the midfield to the goal. And it also looks like NC State isn't placing their shots very well. I think NC State needs to work on placing their shots, and UNCW needs to work on getting the ball towards their goal more.
Definitely agree. If UNCW could make those opportunities, they have the power, they have players who could get it to the back of the net. But NC State making those opportunities, making great and smart plays, just not applying the force that they need to get that ball to the back of the net. It's either power or finesse, and it needs to be some combination of the two in order for opportunities to really work here. So I guess we'll see in this next half whether NC State can create those opportunities or whether, UNCW is able to get just any shot to the top of the box of NC State's box so that they can get into the back of the net. But of course, we'll see. It all depends, and maybe we'll end this game scoreless. But we definitely know who's been playing better, who's been using and creating those opportunities. Thing is, that doesn't show at the final box score, now, does
definitely. Not at all. And I think both teams need to communicate more on the field. There's not a lot of talking going on in the field.
So we'll be right back here at Method Field for the second half of this UNCW-NC State Women's Club Soccer game. We're back for the NC State UNCW Women's Club Soccer game. Taken early opportunity by NC State's number 4, Millie Blivens, looking for a passer, looking for somebody she can pass to and create these opportunities. You can see some outfit changes by some players. The cold is definitely starting to get to them. It's getting to us now.
That's for sure.
Pass opportunity by number 4, Millie Blivens. Hopefully she can get into the back of the net. Decides to cross it instead, and just a missed touch. Those are so frustrating. That missed touch by number 20, Casey Bardier. Again, quiet during the game. That was such a great cross. Millie should have taken that on her own. Definitely would have. If she had the power behind it, would have been in the back of the net. We haven't seen the goalie extend for those corner opportunities. But again, back to Millie. Hopefully she takes this opportunity by herself and just great idea off of the top of her foot. You just can't get the accuracy you want in that position. So that goes straight to the goalie. But great opportunity, great sightseeing, and way to start out the half strong by NC State. UNCW just can't seem to catch up.
Yeah, it seems as NC State came out of the gate applying the pressure right away.
Definitely trying to do what they need to do. UNCW regaining their footing. Definitely one of those teams that come back towards the end, not necessarily strong off the bat. But in order to take on a team like NC State, you have to be strong off the bat. Matching those opportunities like UNCW seems to be doing now. Just a ball too long. Oh no, a trip in the top of the box. I think she just tripped over her own feet a little bit, but slowed down. I wish she would have, kept running at full force. She would have been able to clear that ball a little bit quicker. But a long ball by UNCW just couldn't get to their 24 player. And some wrestling over at the far side of the field is what leads to UNCW holding onto the ball now. Trying to create that opportunity, but taken really, really well by number 16, LB Shapiro. Just kicked out. She knew that she couldn't let that ball advance any further, but it leads to a set piece opportunity by UNCW First time that we really see them stack up on a corner kick. Let's see what formation that they do and how this will help or hurt their play even. NC State brought all of their back line or all of their front line back to take that, except for number 1, Millie Blivens.
I believe this is UNCW's first corner kick, I think, of the game so far.
I want to say so as well. Goes short, some confusion in the box. Oh, first real action we've seen from NC State's goalie. Lands on that really, really well, but you got to be careful with balls like that, because if there's too much confusion, if your goalie can't see what's going on, then that could potentially lead to some harm. Done. NC State keeps the ball, some real finesse passing there. And to number 10, oh, hard hit to number 10, Anna Schneider. Again, one of the quiet ones during this game. And that ball goes long and out.
Still don't hear a lot of communication on the field the second half. I was hoping that both teams would step up their communication game, but I'm not hearing a lot of talking out here.
No, not at all. It seems to be really, really quiet, but there needs to be talking, especially for NC State, to capitalize on those opportunities that they're making for their forwards. They've had some great shots, but oh wow. Just one touch.
Oh, wow.
One touch is all that ball needed to go to the back of the net. Goalie seemed to be a little bit disoriented off that first one, but NC State, again, no talking, no placement, no saying here, 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 you know, cross left, watch right, nothing to indicate to the players and to indicate to each other where they are on the field. And that's why that ball gets saved. Again, you can tell that the goalie is a little bit shaken up now, knowing that there's nothing she can do to stop those plays except be by herself. But the thing about the goalie is that they're the commander of that back line. They're the commander of that defense.
Definitely.
And neither goalies really seem to be playing that role or fitting that role so far. Switching the field to number 5 for NC State. Again across, still switching that field. Some man-on pressure. You can see NC State starting to call that a little bit. And UNCW's number 24 playing all the positions in that front line right there. Being goalie and midfield, trying to cover as many people as possible. Kick blocked by UNCW, picked up nicely by NC State. Again, so a battle at that sideline. Thrown by NC State, taken quickly to Millie Blivens, who crosses it to the center of the field and just passed away by UNCW, but not very well, because that goes back to NC State. A jumble in the UNCW third. In case you didn't notice, we switched fields, and that ball just completely off target. Had maybe the force it needed to go to the back of the net, but none of the accuracy.
Yeah, and that last attempt on goal, if there had been a girl in the middle for NC State, that could have been a shot right there.
Oh, definitely a shot opportunity, and that's where, you know, that communication part is so key, because all it takes is one person to just say, you know, run center, run mid, and that's an opportunity taken, but definitely missed by NC State. Needs to just clean it up at the top. UNCW's ball for a little bit, controlling it. See how long that lasts, and just not long at all. Taken far too easily by number 15 for NC State, Emily Rusk. Back, long ball by UNCW. Goes out, and that's a throw-in for NC State. It's always interesting being on a switched field, because then you get to start to see the other side that you haven't been able to pay close attention to. And this NC State left side is putting in a lot of work now, making more opportunities for themselves. Offsides call on that one, I don't know. That looked a little bit debatable to me. That just seemed to be a difference of eye. Up here, it didn't look like she was offsides, but can't go back and reverse the play now. Taken low and close to the ground by UNCW. Picked up as easily as anything now by UNCW's number 1 Caroline Robinson, again, more of a quiet player, starting to show out. And just that missed opportunity taken quickly down the field by NC State's number 11. Hard pressure by UNCW's number 3, goes down hard, number 11. That is Ellie Reinhardt. She had some opportunities, didn't have the power behind the ball, though. Right back to her for another opportunity, and perfect placement. Exactly what I'm talking about.
Great
going
shot.
right over that goalie. Goalie does not have, a high vertical. Ellie Reinhardt injured even. You can see her limping just a little bit now, but has that goal, and that's the first goal of the entire game for number 11 for NC State. Ellie Reinhardt asking to come off the field, though. And that's the thing with opportunity. She didn't even run. She was just in the right place at the right time, set up that shot, had her time, had it, the top back corner, and has to keep on playing. You can tell she's injured just a little bit, definitely wants to come off. We'll see how NC State, or how UNCW responds to this first goal. UNCW's ball in a precarious spot. Short throw in, definitely could have used somebody who had a little bit of a stronger throw on that one. Create some opportunities closer towards the goal. But cross to the middle of the field, dangerous position. And some great switching, but it seemed like UNCW's number 5, Alyssa Carler, just didn't read the risks well on that one. She wasn't really looking. She had 3 people coming in on her to cover. That's not good odds. Should not have passed to her at all. You can hear some talking, and that goes too far out wide. It was intended for, again, number 5, Alyssa Carler, but just goes past, and it is NC State's ball. You can see it's definitely starting to get to them, all of the little components of this game. That goal actually seemed to take more out of them than put in, so I guess we'll see how this reaction goes, especially since NC State is so close to that upper third. Again, for UNCW.
I'm interested to see how UNCW is going to respond to the goal that NC State just got. We'll see if they can respond with another goal.
Definitely agree. It seems like some of that frustration is coming out there. They're just completely mishandling the ball, using more physicality than intellectual skills as far as the ball goes. Glad that NC State number 5 took her time with that, because she was able to create that opportunity. And again, Millie just a little bit, sorry, not Millie, that was number 10, Anna Schneider with that one. Sorry, excuse me, Anna Sheridan with that one, just went a little bit too high. Again, a missed touch. But that goal by Reinhardt really seemed to be like the perfect combination. Exactly in the right spot where she needed to get it. She knew the goalie wasn't going to be able to jump for it. She had her time to take it, and she wasn't even running that hard. She was just standing in place. So it really goes to show that it's not necessarily about the build-up, it's how you finish.
Definitely.
Far too wide. You can see frustration there, but she picks it right up. Almost mishandled by number 3, Steph Rowe, but keeps it well, keeps it clean. Oh, again, I don't agree with some of the calls being made here. At least from my perspective, that didn't look like a foul. It just got a little hung up in the air, fell too hard. But that goes in UNCW's favor because it's their free kick. Off the head of an NC State player. Brought down a little bit dirty, not too clean on that one. Millie Blivens just tries to out-hurdle the defensive player on her. And that goes out, UNCW's favor.
We'll see if UNCW can get something going here. Got the ball going towards the NC State goal.
It was a good opportunity, number 15 for UNCW, just didn't pick it up, didn't read in on that. That knee went perfectly to her, but just not taken as well. Number 4, Millie Blivens running hard for that ball. She wants it, but she's the only one up there. Can't make opportunities for herself. Gets passed back. NC State's ball up. A good defensive block by the defense, just read not well, and back to NC State. Number 24 for UNCW, alone against 3 NC State defenders. Somebody needs to get down here and give her an opportunity, but an opportunity that'll keep momentum forward, just like that did, and saved by the NC State goalie. That looked really precarious for a second. I didn't know if she would get that. That would have been just a little tap, lost force right before it entered the back of the net, but NC State goalie there for that. Only her second save of the game, so she hasn't been as active as a player as I guess most goalies would want to be, but that's a good thing for the rest of your team, you know what I mean?
For sure, definitely. You want your team to be at the other end of the field.
As far away from you as possible. UNCW goalie came 2 for that one, kept it on the ground though. I don't know how I feel about those decisions. I always think passing back to the goalie is such a dangerous position because you don't know where they are, mentally in their headspace. Number 25 for UNCW, trying to make a play for number 24 for UNCW, taking her time, switching the field, but taken easily by NC State in the middle of the field. Always dangerous for the defense to be playing in the middle of the field.
Oh, great defense there by number 12.
Agreed. Definitely picked up super easily, just came and made that space, didn't even see her coming. At UNCW, number 1, Caroline Robinson, kept by Millie Blivens, switched the field to number 3, Steph Rowe. Just one tap, and just mangled that shot. She knows it too. Definitely thinking about that opportunity and what it could have allotted to.
That was definitely a shot for NC State.
My question is, she seems like she's a right-footed player, so why? She had time to switch her feet, but she kept that on her left foot. With the time and the space that she had, definitely should have switched it. Could have stopped and taken a shot. She had all of the space in the world, but that's a goal kick for UNCW taken by number 22. Goes high right to NC State, just as most goal kicks have done, but picked up by number 4 for UNCW. That is Hannah Schaus, And just a hard kick, not called at all.
Not at all.
Hard run, and that's dangerous. She let that one go because the goalie was right there. Didn't want to risk a red card in that position. It's always hard to know when to go for something and when to let off, both as a goalie and a player with things in front of the box. She just let that one go. And it's back to NC State third. You can see a little bit of lethargy with the NC State defense, knowing that they don't necessarily have to do too much in order to stop the UNCW, which UNCW has just capitalized on and should continue to capitalize on if they want to make effective plays. Just capitalize on that underestimation by the NC State defense. It goes out to another throw-in by NC State queen of throw-ins, Nicole Kohlberg. Always throws it if it's down on her side, as we can see. Goes out for a UNCW throw-in. Not much play on that ball.
We'll see if they can make a play happen. They're down at NC State's goal.
But she's just ultimately just surrounded. Oh, a little miscommunication on that ball. UNCW just let it go, though. They should have made an opportunity on that. Everyone's mistakes are an opportunity for some golden plays. But I'm not sure about the call on that one. But it goes in the direction of UNCW. Throw in for UNCW to number 15. Number 15, Justine Troyana. Keeps it. A little bit of discussion at the top. Goes out wide. NC State running harder for it than UNCW is. Again, NC State just has the speed on UNCW. They cannot compete on that angle. So that becomes an NC State throw-in. this is such an opportunity for one power thrower to just get it to Millie Blivens and let her take it down the field because, again, she has that speed. She knows how to run for the ball. Just need to get it to her, need to give her the space to create opportunities and make this a 2-0 game. If UNCW wants to tie this up, they need to try a little bit harder to go for those balls that they think are just slightly out of reach. Try harder to make every opportunity a scoring opportunity instead of giving up if a ball seems to be too far out of play. And get out of that comfort zone, which some players like number 16, Haley Gibson for UNCW, seem to be doing a really good job at. But then others, number 24 for UNCW, number 20, struggle a little bit on. Again, those hard runs, you can tell that the NC State front line is a little bit tired, but taken up by them. Seems to NC State keeps it, not by force, but just by getting into those right spaces. So a little, discussion about that, miscommunication about those passes, but number 5 for NC State picks it up quite easily, making those plays again. She's been a powerhouse in this half for making plays and getting right where she needs to be.
There's a lot of back and forth going on in the midfield.
A lot of back and forth. That whole altercation was just not talking, not communication. Oh.
I think we lost the shin guard.
We did. Just a little bit. That was a little bit of a scary play for me watching it. It just seems to be a lot of people not going for the ball, just going for the ankles there, which is always dangerous when you're playing such a physical sport like soccer. So they take number 4, Millie Blivens, out for NC State, giving her a little bit of a rest. You could tell she was getting a little bit tired up there, making constant runs.
Yeah, she's been playing very hard for NC State out here on the field.
Number 21, Virginia Blake, goes in instead. Again, a little bit slow by UNCW to make those plays, but that ended up being really good to be patient. Ended up in her favor because it gets to UNCW and just touched right out of bounds in favor of an NC State throw-in. Headed right out, and again, an NC State throw-in taken by number 5. Wind is going to be a big factor in this game. Starting to get a little bit chillier, a little bit windier here. Great opportunity by number 21, NC State. Just didn't know where the ball is. Nobody told her. So they suffered from that a little bit. But back to number 12, makes a beautiful and smart run just down the line. Hopefully, NC State's number 21, that sub, Virginia Blake, can come in and create some opportunities. Oh, and just what a great save. What a great save by UNCW's goalie. In order for that to have worked, NC State needed to be there a little bit earlier to make that cross and just nudge it in the goal. The goalie was faster though, and that opportunity, again, has really been saving UNCW from a blowout.
Definitely.
Definitely can see some of that tiredness. Oh, first opportunity by NC State, or excuse me, first opportunity by UNCW to really put some pressure in this little segment of play.
UNCW needs to take all the opportunities that they can get out here.
Yeah, usually not a fan, usually not an advocate for shooting far outside the box, but in that case, that might have actually ended up in her favor if she would have taken the shot because she had the space.
Especially because it was one-on-one out there.
Yeah, dribbling it towards the top of the goal isn't always a good scenario if you know that you can make that shot. She had the power to take it, but didn't. And that was a clear that just went wrong, trying to clear it to the other side of the field. Goes out the back, and it is a UNCW corner. Second corner for UNCW of the half, maybe second corner for the game even.
It is still 1-0 out here with NC State winning. We've had a lot of shots on goal from both teams, but only got 1 goal out here.
Definitely interesting to watch, see what they make of this. They don't really seem to have an organization like NC State did on that second corner kick. Just seem to be, kicking it, everybody making their own runs, see where it goes. Taken easily by NC State number 21, and a little bit of a rush to go down the field. Crossed well, NC State does have that speed. UNCW applying some pressure, but not to where she wanted it. I think she was trying to switch the field with the cross, taken easily by UNCW before it goes out. Free throw in by UNCW, goes back to NC State at the top of the third. Some jumbling in the top third, trying to figure out where it's going to go. Little pressure being applied to the UNCW back line. NC State forwards just trying to let it go, and then nudge in whenever they see the chance, but they do need to apply that pressure in order to make sure that they're getting the opportunities they need to score.
Looks like we have a goalie change for UNCW.
Yeah, no, I definitely, we'll see how this new goalie matches up. I would be tired too if I was that old goalie, always, trying to stay on my feet and watching those shots. But she better get warm quickly, because NC State's not going to let up for a new goalie, not going to give you a chance to warm up. They're going to capitalize on the errors that they see in your character or in your abilities as a goalie as well. NC State definitely taking it more slowly now that they have this goal, but they can't get into a groove. They can't settle in, because that's when you lose it, and that's when opportunities happen against you. All the time in the world on that one, just megged by UNCW on that play. Driving that line, goes out though. You know what she was trying to do? She's trying to put it down the line, keep it in, capitalize on those opportunities UNCW doesn't seem to be getting at. But we've got more than a few subs for both teams. Millie Blivens still not back on the field. I think she's taking it. I think that's it for her this game. She's been playing really hard, playing really well at that forward position. Need a fresh pair of legs though in order to keep that pressure. I'm just easily taken to NC State. Hard run, and just absolutely driven to the top of the box. Somebody goes down, stays up. You can't play on the ground though, so you always have to be careful about that. Interesting switch, not something that I would necessarily advocate for, chipping it to the back line, but just errors galore. No, I'm sorry, no. No, I don't agree with that call at all. Her body was just in the way, and that's the thing. If you're going up against a size mismatch, you have to expect some falls, especially a size mismatch like that. She got a couple of inches and maybe 10 pounds at least on that girl. Of course you're going to go down. I don't think it was a push. I just think it was a little bit of jumbling, and unfortunately she went down for that. But definitely shouldn't have stopped play.
Definitely. Soccer's such a physical game that people are going to fall.
Yeah, and it's not like it was intentional. Incredible run by number 21, Virginia Blake. That power sub just tripped up at the top of the block and offsides, but kept and held. That offside flag still up though. Again, I don't agree with that call. Definitely not offside. She made the run after the ball had been released.
It was a great shot there by NC State, but also a great save by the UNCW goalie.
Definitely would agree that trip at the top of the box should have been called. Definitely should have been called. It looked intentional, and then also it was getting in the way of a goal-scoring opportunity. That is grounds for a direct kick. We haven't seen any direct kicks so far this game, though, so maybe they're not necessarily calling those because of the level of play. I don't know what the reasoning is, but definitely should have been a direct kick for NC State. That is an opportunity that was robbed from them. But again, we have to commend the effort made by the UNCW goalie, even after play was officially stopped, coming out of the box for those balls. Taking her time with the kick. Pelted close to the ground, taken easily by NC State. You've got to watch out for those. You can't give up the ball too easily. And a run just, by Virginia Blake, just forgotten. She didn't want to make that run. Wish she would have given it a little bit of acceleration. She would have gotten there in time to get that and make an opportunity. And the ball goes out in NC State's favor, as so many have during this game. We see more substitutions. Everyone's a little bit cold. Everyone's a little bit chilly.
Always good to get a fresh pair of legs in there.
Definitely also begs the question, is NC State putting in their quote-unquote B team for the duration of this game? I hope not, because it's not like they've taken this game easily. UNCW finally finding their legs, but taken easily and pretty poorly by NC State. NC State's number 16, LB Shapiro. She knows she didn't do that ball justice, but it goes right down to the super sub, number 21, Virginia Blake, who's been making opportunities all on the side. It switches the field incredibly to number 11, and just one pout, it'll put it back, and just too high. Too high, needed to get her feet set, needed to get her hips set right on top of that ball. That was gone right in the back of the net. It had the trajectory. She knew where she wanted that ball to go and just overdid it a little bit.
That was a great try, though.
Yeah, of course. I think that was, again, number 11, Ellie Reinhardt, with the first goal. She just went a little bit too much, trying to replicate that. Needed to get her feet set. She knows it, too. She wants another opportunity, but gives it so kindly to number 21, Virginia Blake. Gave up on that ball a little bit late. Didn't want to be caught in a poor position, but she could have had a chance on that ball had she had tried just a little bit harder to get it. And that is back to UNCW. Throw in down the field. UNCW has been a little bit quiet in this segment. Goes on the ground over the head of UNCW, but managed to be held off by UNCW until, of course, number 5 for NC State takes it away.
NC State's charging down the field once again.
Yeah, that was just stopped by UNCW. Little bit of miscommunication. I think she just let up too early. That clear by NC State goes to a UNCW throw in. We'll add just a little bit of time, though, for NC State to set up for this throw in and get it back. Number 21 still acting as the sub for number 4, Millie Blivens by NC State at the top. Bringing that front line back a little bit more. Of course, your front line has to set up with the back line of your opposing team to make sure they stay onside. Make sure no onside calls are called, really. So if your back line is pushing up, your opposing team front line will push up as well, which is why we see Virginia Blake being pushed up all the way across the half. And it's an NC State throw-in again. The NCW definitely needs to clean it up, keep it inside. Time is not on their side at all.
Definitely not.
Especially being at a 1-point deficit and a passing deficit. They need to opportunize as much as possible.
Hey, Caroline.
A stop by UNCW, a little too easy, in fact, for what I've seen of this NC State team. UNCW trying to make goes off of the side. Such a great idea. Had she had been about 3 feet to her right, she would have been able to get that to the back of the net. Just didn't set up properly. Didn't seem like the NC State goalie was ready for it either. But apparently there's a deflection off the goalie because this turns into a corner kick. Of course, eyes on the ground are better than our eyes up here, so I guess I would have to agree with that call, but NC State needs to be really careful right now if they want to make sure that that doesn't go into the back of the net, because this is one of the very few set pieces UNCW has had a chance to make. Taken by UNCW, kind of mangled on the kick, has a high curvature, goes out, hard run by Virginia Blake, didn't even see her coming, UNCW, and taken down the field easily. She just needs to keep up with it, pass, but not pass too incredibly. And that's why we see kind of a mess, midfield to midfield down here.
NC State managed to keep the ball away from the goalie in that corner kick right there.
Definitely. Number 5 for NC State, making all of the plays possible. I don't even know what position she's playing. She's up top, she's in the middle, and she's back. She seems to be the perfect midfielder for this team. Came off of the bench in the second half, so making a lot of those necessary plays to keep NC State out of trouble. But it is back to a UNCW throw in down on the field. A lot more talking now. That seemed to rile up something in both teams. High kick. Liked the idea though. Trying to go off that bounce, just trying to go in that top corner. Had the power. But
gotta try and keep the NC State goalie on her toes. Gotta switch it up.
Fans on both teams seem to be a little excited now. And that's an NC State goal kick taken by number 23, Sabrina Baker. But back to UNCW. UNCW finally advancing play, but taken by NC State.
Both teams seem to be applying a lot more pressure within these last few minutes.
Yes, definitely applying more pressure. NC State has been letting up on a lot of the clean passing that they were doing in the first half. I don't know what's changed for them. A little tension by UNCW's number 5. That's Alyssa Carler, and NC State's number 11, Ellie Reinhardt. I think a little pushing dispute, but I mean, it's soccer. It's a contact sport. You've got to expect at least a little bit. Oh man, almost a second chance for Ellie Reinhardt. Just tripped right in between the legs of a UNCW defender. You can see tensions are definitely starting to rise as this game advances a little bit more. We'll see how that plays into, especially since both NC State's Ellie Reinhardt and UNCW's Alyssa Carler on the same side of the field. They'll be butting heads a little bit, but that's the thing. You can't be mad if somebody touches you during the game. It is soccer. It's expected. It's not like it's volleyball where you guys are on opposite sides of the court. That would be a problem. But when you're in such close proximity with each other, it's just to be expected. NC State with another opportunity goes off the side of the net. Again, one of those things where she would have just been 3 feet to her left. That would have gone straight in the back of the net. Taking her off now, that was number 21, Virginia Blake. Played an incredible game. Excuse me, not number 21, number 22, Sabine Bajern, who has been quiet this game, but definitely making some goal-scoring opportunities. Taken off, she's played a hard game, played most of the second half. We're back with a goal kick. Goes off the top of the head. Easily, it's been a pretty heady game for NC State, utilizing every part of the body possible. Oh, and just tripped.
Number 5 there for UNCW took a hard fall. That was
Alyssa Carler. Again, we saw her in some hot water with Ellie Reinhardt, but that one was actually Emily Tully, who's been pretty quiet during this game, making that. Oh, and then a beautiful opportunity, beautiful throw-in. Tries to duke it out, passes to number 4, and just again in the back of the net, great opportunity. That was taken by Millie Bliven with the assist from I don't remember who it was, but definitely her front line played a huge part in that. Ellie Reinhardt touched that ball a little bit. So some great goal-scoring opportunities. That was a great spot. I almost thought that wasn't going to go in based off the wind, but maybe it carried a little bit.
I thought so too, but she was just in the perfect spot at the right time, and it went. Great shot there.
Definitely. Such a good spot. You know, that goalie being exercised. It is 2-0 at Miller Field. NC State up. UNCW needs to be careful not to get into a slump, not to get upset, especially with the tensions being so high as they are now. I'm still going to go back to that one play by number 18, Emily Tully. Should have been called by the ref. It was a trip, should have been called, but wasn't. Ultimately didn't help or hurt NC State's goal in that sense. A high kick by number 5, Alyssa Carler for UNCW, but not called. High kicks are, of course, illegal in soccer. need to be careful about how high your foot got. I think in that scenario it got entirely too high.
Yes, definitely.
That was a great stop by number 3 for UNCW, Mackenzie Brooks. Also been quiet this game, but again with that patience, worked out the footwork, got it back for UNCW.
We'll see if UNCW can answer to the 2 goals that NC State has scored.
Yeah, it answered a positive way at that, not being too aggressive, not letting their tensions get the better of them, because that doesn't lead to better soccer. That just leads to more dangerous soccer, of course. Number 12, Gracie Lewis applying that pressure at the top of the box. Gracie's actually gave the assist. Gracie's the one that gave the assist to Millie Blevins for that last goal. As play is winding down here at Miller Field, we are seeing a lot of more tensions rise and a lot more goal scoring opportunities by NC State. UNCW letting up just a little bit, maybe a little bit tired. I'm not sure how many subs they really have or really can afford in these last few minutes of play. In NC State's half now, NC State not seeing stressed at all, goes back for an NC State throw in. Big throw taken by UNCW. Mishandled a little bit, actually going back to the top of the half, which is more dangerous because NC State will capitalize on anything.
Definitely. And I think that's what has made them come on top in this game. They're able to capitalize on everything, whereas UNCW is lacked on some of the opportunities that they've been given.
Great kick to Gracie Lewis by number 4, Millie Blevins for NC State. Gracie just seems to be all over all of that, but on that fall, given in UNCW's favor, that is a free kick for UNCW. Had to run a little bit far to get that ball. But I'm not sure if UNCW just doesn't have the subs or what, but it seems like some of the players on their field have been playing for a really long time. And especially when tensions get hot as that, you need to take a player out, let them cool down before they get back on there. You don't want any dangerous plays being happen or any, any accidents especially occurring as well. They got to 11, Ellie Reinhardt. Through the middle, not picked up by anybody. Back in control, NC State's ball, but taken very, very easily by UNCW's number 17, Amanda Doherty. Haven't heard a lot of her since the first half. Cleared easily by NC State. That goes to a UNCW throw-in. Again, giving them time to set up. UNCW is trying to take it quickly, though, to create a goal-scoring opportunity, maybe catch NC State in a bad place. Surprised that wasn't called. That was definitely a push down by NC State for UNCW. You have to keep playing honestly, even when you're in a position of frustration, especially with such a height mismatch as that was. You have to use your height to your advantage, but not as a position to harm another person. And that's game here at Miller Field. NC State wins that one 2-0. UNCW had a couple of shots on goal, but of course not being able to capitalize on that. And we'll be right back here at Miller Field.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Wolfpack. Located in the Ridgewood Shopping Center off of Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop recently expanded from 2,400 to 5,400 square feet. Whether you're in need of tailgating essentials, decals and magnets, home goods, apparel for people of all ages, or sporting goods, the Red and White Shop has it all. Stop by today for your NC State needs.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
So if the word of the first half was pressure, then the word of the second half was definitely tension. Both tension between players on the same team to create those opportunities, but tension even between, the opposing teams, just trying to make sure to get that space and earn that space. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree with that. I think there was a lot of frustration on the field this half. And NC State was able to capitalize on that, and I think it made UNCW more frustrated, and it just resulted in not good.
They were definitely able to make those opportunities and take it, and that's ultimately why it ended up score being 2-0. It seemed while NC State had all the plays, they didn't quite get that finesse, get that shot aspect in until the very, very last parts of the game, and that's why it ends up 2-0, and UNCW definitely feeling the frustration in that and not being able to turn it around for themselves as well, because they had those opportunities and they had those spaces to create shots, but weren't using it effectively, weren't using it efficiently, and not seeing each other on the field. And so I think some of that frustration between players on the same team just sort of spilled out between each other and the opposing teams. So definitely stressful. I wish we could have an interview, but there's actually the women's rugby game happening in 30 minutes. If you want to stay tuned for that, they'll be playing South Carolina, so that's why we won't be doing a stand-up. But I'm Lulu.
I'm Savannah.
And we're signing off with PackTV from Miller Fields.